glad that camp will happen this summer. Summer camp, especially at Camp Ramah, is very important for our family.
So I go to URJ Eisner Camp.
I went to Surprise Lake Camp.
I went to Mahane Ramah in Argentina for many, many summers.
I went to Eisner Camp in the Berkshires.
What I looked forward to every single year was going to Camp Ramah in the Berkshires in the summer.
I go to Ramah, Nyack, and my favorite thing about it is Maccabiah.
My favorite thing at Crane Lake is that Tefillah is always outdoors, and it's so fun when we're singing and dancing.
Being a camper at Camp Ramah in the Berkshires has created lifelong friends that will truly last a lifetime.
For sure, Jewish camp changed my life.
I love Jewish camp because it's the place where I fell in love with Judaism.
I also really love the religious part of it. I like seeing people chant Torah and doing limud, so I think the Jewish life at Eisner is also really great.
The part I loved about camp was the ruach of camp. You had so much spirit, everyone loved being there, you really developed great friendships.
The rich sense of ritual in space and nature.
We love how accessible and fun and inclusive Jewish camp really is, and we can't wait until we can send our daughters to one.
It was not only the place where I made lifelong friendships, but I had the chance to connect with my family in a new way. I attended the same camp that my mom and uncle went to, and I got the chance to go to camp alongside my cousins.
I experienced what a 25-hour glorious Shabbat would be, with singing and prayer and banging on the tables in the dining room.
Memories that I have of the songs we learned.
Folk dancing after dinner, which I loved so much I became a dance counselor in camp.
One of the best parts is all the friends that I've made throughout my summers there.
We met our best friends there, we met each other there, and it made Judaism, dare I say, cool.
We listen to songs in Hebrew and we dance to them. The prayers are in Hebrew, and it's just like a special experience that can't be found other places, you know, where the environment is so supportive of that learning.
Because it let me make friends that I will know forever and be in a community that I would be part of forever.
Some of my favorite things about camp are the water toys, Saturday morning breakfast because you get coffee cake, and my friends.
I really found my voice at camp. I was asked to be someone at camp, not only as a counselor, but as a kid.
I think it made me a better person and certainly a better Jew.
It was actually the most beautiful experiences that I can remember.
It's the place where I really felt like I belonged. I love Jewish camp.
I love swimming in the swimming pools. I like the ice cream that I get. I like when we cook outside. Also the ice cream.
Only wish that we could stay and spend the rest of every day in a place where it's summertime forever. I'm gonna dream about the time you spend and send my love to all my friends, and I'll see you when summer comes again. And I'll see you when summer comes again. And I'll see you when summer comes again. Yum diddy dum diddy day day. Yum diddy dum diddy day day day. Yum diddy dum diddy day day. Yum day 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 yum day.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. It's so fun.
Shabbat Shalom.
Such a treat to be here with everyone. We really have such an amazing group. In addition to our usuals, that we have Mike Witman and Michael Harlow, and Nate is on our bass today, but we get to welcome our fellow, our rabbinic fellow, Deborah, who will be joining us for our Camp Shabbat. And welcome to all of you on Camp Shabbat. I feel so excited. I hope everyone can feel that camp energy, that camp ruach. I'm already feeling it, and that video was just so powerful. It was beautiful, it was funny, it was fun. It also just really brought me back into the camp spirit. So we are so grateful to our families, and we see some of you are joining us even here on Zoom that are our movie stars of today. But really a Shabbat Shalom, and we're getting ready for Shabbat together with some camp spirit. So we hope you enjoy the songs. We ask you to sing along, join, clap, bang on the table if that is your tradition. But we're going to jump in with some Ve'ahavta together. And we'll take it away, Michael.
After me, בכל לבבך, בנפשך, מאודיך, ואהבת בכל לבבך, בנפשך, מאודיך, ואהבת.
Just even looking around, I'm just noticing we all wore our camp whites. We're really ready. We're ready for Shabbat. We're ready with I see some camp t-shirts going on and in here, and also those joining us on Zoom. I see also some beautiful tiaras. We're really ready for Shabbat. We're ready to jump into it.
So, as we do during Shabbat Family Jam, and now, Camp Shabbat Family Jam, there's always an interview question. So I have two for everyone out there, and if you have answers that you want to put, feel free to put it in the chat, or if you're on Facebook, put it in the comments. I don't think you can comment on YouTube, but you can figure out a way. All right, so here are the two questions that everyone has to choose for. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Come on, it's Camp Shabbat.
I'm ready!
Are you ready?
I'm ready!
I was born ready.
Who's got Ruach?
I've got Ruach.
Who's got the most?
I've got the most.
That's not the question, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm getting off script. Okay. What do you love most about Jewish summer camp and why? Or what is one experience you had at camp on Shabbat that has inspired you this day? Or just an experience that has inspired you? Okay. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna call on anyone. When you're ready, raise your hand. Michael Harlow for the win.
All right. I want to share one of the most special camp memories I have. I went to Ramon the Rockies in Colorado. I brought a shirt to represent. It's loud. It's brightly colored because it's so awesome. I went to Ramon the Rockies in 2011, and we had a very old building was our Chadar Ochel, was the room where we ate our meals. And on Friday night, after we ate, we would fold up all the tables and all jump in circles in the Chadar Ochel. And one Friday night after dinner, we were dancing, and there was so much ruach that we could actually feel the floor bouncing with us. And we were moving the ground with all of our energy. And we actually had to stop, and then we decided to go outside to keep singing because even the building falling apart, which we then replaced, couldn't stop us from celebrating Shabbos and having a great time.
Thank you so much,
That's
Michael.
amazing. Wow.
Oh, I see a hand over there. Yes, Deborah.
Thank you so much. Well, I was going to say Shir on the Chadar, so Michael stole my idea, but I'll say another one. There's so many amazing moments from the camp I spent the past few summers at, Camp Ramon, the Berkshires. I was lucky enough to be Rosh Music. I know there are some of you out there right now, so hello. And every summer we would put on our annual Zimriya, our big song festival, and each Eidah would get their own song to learn, to take ownership over, and to lead for the rest of the Camp Kehillah. And tonight we're doing some of those songs that we did at the last Ramah Berkshire Zimriya, and it's inspired me to this day, and I'm excited that we're singing them tonight.
Beautiful.
Rabbi Becca?
I know there's so many to choose from, but
I can't decide either.
It's so hard. And it's amazing that I hear all the different memories, and even in the video I heard the memories, and I was like, yeah, I have the same memory. Like, it doesn't matter where you went to camp, what you did. It's this special experience. It's so similar. But I think for me, it's a little bit more general when I think about the experience, especially of Shabbat at camp. Actually, that. In particular, when we sing El Adon, I think I first learned that when I was at camp, and there's something about Shabbat melodies and the prayer, and camp is really where I learned how and what it was to pray and what it felt like to pray in a community and what it felt like to be surrounded in prayer. And I can even picture like them they used to bring the benches out, and then we would have the Torah service, and the benches would be outside just with the nature around me and prayer. And I just sometimes even can picture that when I'm praying, even here at BJ, just have that energy. So for me, it really was the place that inspired my spiritual life in a really deep way.
So I don't know what to choose. Like, there's so many things that are connected in my life to camp. So I grew up going to Camp Eisner in the Berkshires, but then I moved over to serve on faculty at Crane Lake. And actually, one of my favorite parts has been like, every part of camp and your involvement just gets more and more fun. So like, you start as a camper and it's amazing. And then you move on to a staff member and you're learning all these things. Like, it's incredible. And as a kid, you're learning life skills and you're learning about Jewish life, and it's just incredible. And then you keep on moving farther and farther up. Maybe you're, a unit head, and eventually, when you get on faculty, it's like the most fun. You get to teach Judaism and get all of the fun of camp without some of the responsibility, which is awesome. But I would say my favorite camp memory, I met my wife at camp. And so I think that's probably my favorite camp memory, is I met my family at Crane Lake, which is pretty cool.
That's amazing.
That's my answer. And I thank you all for sharing your answers. And I'm stoked for the rest of our camp experience here.
Me too. And now I'm thinking, I hope that my husband isn't watching, because I also met him at camp. Maybe I should have said that as my memory too. But I took some of camp home with me. He took it home. Yeah, exactly. I took some of camp home with me. We have that camp ruach in our home. So we'll continue singing. We'll join with Oseh Shalom. And again, just because you're on mute, we really want to see that camp ruach. So jump around, clap, bang on your tables, dance. That's what it's all about. That's what we're bringing into Shabbat with us this week. Every week, but really this week as we celebrate camp and Jewish camp this Shabbat.
Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel.
So we're going to hit it now, a remix or just a continuation of Oseh Shalom, because we have lots of camps we're representing here. And this is one that I first learned at camp many summers ago, but still has a special place. So we invite you to join us for another round of Oseh Shalom. Same words, different melody.
You can never pray too much for peace.
Never.
Never.
Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imnu, amen. Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imnu, amen.
Shabbat Shalom again. Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice for us to be here together, for us to be enjoying Shabbat and thinking about camp, thinking about some of our favorite places. And oh my gosh, what is it? Is it Yom Sport? Maccabia?
Yom Palmer?
Yom Berkshires?
Yom Color War! Breakout! Oh my goodness. Where is it coming from? So
Yom Sport Breakout!
Yom Sport Breakout, but I don't think we can have that. I don't think we can have our Color War breakout on Shabbat, unfortunately. So a fake out for us here at BJ. We'll have to do it. Next time we do our Camp Shabbat, we're going to have a real color war. We got to bring everyone into the sanctuary. I can already see it with our different colors, our different teams that'll be our kvutzot, our groups that will be representing here. But really just to have that spirit, our camp spirit, our ruach here is exactly what we're trying to get at. And I've been thinking a lot about, we just sang Oseh Shalom. Now I'm like a little thrown off. I'm like, oh, a fake breakout. I'm totally ready. I've got ruach. Yes, I do. I'm ready to jump in. But I'm thinking about actually the words of Oseh Shalom. We're praying for peace and we're thinking about peace. And also the rabbis teach us that when we light our Shabbat candles every week, when we bring in Shabbat, that the Shabbat candles represent Shalom Bayit. They represent the peace in our house. They represent that peacefulness not only between us and our family members, but also I'd like to think about the peace of Shabbat itself and that peace that it brings us, that inner peace. And when I think about that inner peace for me, and I think about a place where I feel the safest and the most at home, the most comfortable, again, an image of camp comes up for me, that image of wearing white on Shabbat. I wrote about this in my Torah Shabbat this week, but almost being a part of this group. I can't really explain the feeling other than almost like when you're when you're here in the sanctuary, it's a similar feeling. And also when you're at maybe a baseball game or something where everybody's wearing the same thing, everybody's connected in a certain way, but it's even one step higher than that because then we're all singing and we're praying together. There's this sense of just completeness, that word shalom being also shalem, being complete and being really that inner and outer peace and everything just falling into place together. And so as we continue our Camp Shabbat, as we go into Shabbat together, I really wanted to invite everybody to just take a moment. We'll take a nice deep breath together. And I wanted you to think about that place for you. Where is that place of peace? Where is that place of inner peace? It might be a physical place. Maybe it's a person, maybe people, maybe it's your camp friends, your camp community, or your BJ community. And just I want you to invite them in for Shabbat, whether they're physically with you, or maybe just an image, or maybe we'll even invite them in by sending them our good Shabbat vibes. We'll take a nice deep breath together as we breathe in, breathing in that spirit, that energy, that love, the ahava that we have, and then just breathing it out and putting it into the world, into Shabbat. And so we haven't lit Shabbat candles yet. We haven't quite welcomed Shabbat, but what I want to invite everyone to do as you go and light your candles after bringing in Shabbat with our camp ruach, with our camp spirit, I also want to invite you to think about what is it that you need this Shabbat to bring in that inner peace and to be in that peaceful place. And for me, again, that place is often represented by camp. It's often represented, and not just by the physical place, although I do think of the nature and the beauty, but really, as I said, that place where I really met God for the first time, where I really met what it meant like to be in a community and what it felt like to really be in a place where I was cared for and loved and felt safe and really felt that shalom. So with that, I wish you a Shabbat shalom, a Shabbat of peace and of wholeness and fullness, and we'll go into some more singing together as we continue to welcome Shabbat, our camp-style family jam.
Awesome. Thank you, Rabbi Becca. So we're going to take a moment and learn a nigun. This is a Camp Ramon the Berkshires favorite of mine that we've been singing for the past couple of summers. We started singing it at the Zimriya, and it's made its way into our tefillah on Shabbat and on weekdays and in Shira and the Chadar. So it's called Into the West, and it's by Nava Tehillah, which is an Israeli group that also wrote that second Oseh Shalom we just did. So we are bringing a little bit of Israel as well into our family jam. So we're going to take a moment and just break it down, learn it piece by piece. So please repeat after me. Can I just get a key?
Please repeat after me.
You're really getting into the camper spirit. All right. Ay-ya-dum ba bum ba bum ba ba-ya-dum da da la just that much. Ay-ya-da-la-la-la-la-la, ay-ya-bum ba ba-la-la, ay-ya-bum ba bum ba bum bum bo. Listen to those two parts together. Ay-ya-dum ba bum ba ay-ya-dum da da ay-ya, ay-ya-la-la-la-la-ay-ya. Oh, join us. Next part. Just that much. Next part. Ay-ya-bum ba bum ba bum bum. Oh. Ay-ya-bum ba bum 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 bum. That whole second part together. One more time for good measure. Here we go from the beginning.
It's just an amazing feeling to also, as spring is starting to come, like that sunshine, the blossoming, the blooming all around us, you also feel it. You feel it in the air.
I can't lie, that was like shivers down the spine. That was definitely shivers. That was
So
beautiful.
So beautiful. It's just the joy of what summer brings for all of us. And I was even thinking about that it's not even just about maybe going away to camp for 8 weeks. Maybe people had an experience of 1 week. Maybe you went away with USY encampment, or maybe a summer program that brought you to Israel. And just the connections, there's something about having that break, and again, just being in community and having it be your everyday experience. Like, you're waking up, you're living Judaism. It's not just in a book, it's not just in the sanctuary, but it's when you're brushing your teeth, when you're walking around and you see signs in Hebrew, when you just have it in every aspect of your life. And Judaism really gives us a day-to-day of what we do, and also a counting of our months. And we have Rosh Chodesh, which is coming up on Monday, Rosh Chodesh ER. We're leaving the month of Nisan, which brought us Pesach, brought us spring, and we're going into ER, and we're going to sing a song that is a beautiful, beautiful rendition of Zeh Hayom. It's a part of Hallel. It's a call and response, so it still has our campy feel to it. And we're going to jump into that, and Michael will lead us through that. But we're saying, Zeh Hayom Asa Adonai Nagila v'nismecha bo. This is the day that God has made for us, and we will rejoice in it. We will be happy. We will sing. And this is the day, even though we're a little early, but still going into Shabbat, thinking about camp, this is the day.
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom.
Asa Adonai, Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom,
Zeh Hayom.
Asa Adonai, Nagila,
Nagila,
v'nismecha,
v'nismecha,
Nagila v'nismecha bo, Nagila,
Nagila,
v'nismecha.
v'nismecha. Beautiful. It is the day, and as we go into Shabbat, we are joyous, we're excited, we're celebrating, and we also always take a moment for thinking about those in need of healing, whether it's ourselves, our loved ones, those in the world, especially as we are so much closer. We're really in that transition period of people starting to be vaccinated, which is exciting, but we still have to be incredibly careful, and thinking about how camp wasn't able to happen last year in order to make sure that everybody was safe, that everybody was healed, that we could really stop the spread. And so we invite you just to take a moment to think about those in need of healing, whether it's body, whether it's mind, soul, and we send them healing thoughts, we send them good energy as we sing together, Ana Elna.
Announcements.
Announcements. A-N-N-O-U-C.
Come on, it's Camp Shabbat. Let's try it again. Announcements.
Ho-da-o.
We went boom shaka boom shaka boom shaka boom ba-da-da boom shaka. Okay, enough.
I like that.
All right.
Wow.
So, okay. So one of the things that I love most here that we do at B'nai Jeshurun are our immersive experiences. And actually, that's been a real feeling of loss because it feels like camp when we get to go away for Reach for Shabbat. So we're excited to announce, you don't have to do it there. We're excited to share. That's what you have to remember. Excited to share. This year we're doing Stay for Shabbat here in New York City for all 3rd through 6th grade families that are members here at BJ. And it's Friday, May 21st through Sunday, May 23rd. We just ask you whether you can come or not to please fill out the form. Becca, ask me why they should fill out the form.
Why should everybody fill out the form?
Tell us, Mike.
I'll tell you why. Because you're going to get a special gift if you fill out the form.
Oh, boy.
It's really awesome.
It's really awesome.
It's really awesome.
We want you to come, but if you can't, please fill out the form regardless so that you can get a special gift. On Thursday, April 15th, it's Yom Ha'atzmaut, and we have a very special celebration for our young families and anyone who wants to join online at 5 o'clock. We have a spring elective with the one and only Michael Harlow standing right over there. Michael, what are they going to be learning in this spring elective?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Mike.
You're welcome.
If you sign up for my elective with me, we're going to learn trope. What is trope, you might ask?
What is trope?
What is trope?
You did ask. Trope is like the music notes and punctuation of the Torah. It tells you like how to sing it and how to chant it and helps you understand like where the words stop and start or the sentences stop and start because there aren't actually any periods in the Torah. So come sign up for Trope and learn how to read Torah, and then we'll actually get to read a teeny little bit of Torah at Stay for Shabbat.
Woohoo!
Amazing. And that starts Wednesdays, April 21st at 4 o'clock, so sign up. Two more. Next week, someone asked me, or Becca, what's next week?
What is next week?
Oh, no, I asked you. No, I'll ask you. Becca, what's next week? What's next Shabbat? You don't even have the announcements. What's next Shabbat?
Next Shabbat is going to be amazing. We're going from Camp Shabbat into Teen Shabbat, and our teens, the BJ teens, are taking over all of Shabbat. That means you will get a chance to be led in prayer by our teen community starting Friday night with a pre-Shabbat into Kabbalat Shabbat and all of Shachrit and Musaf. So really the teens are doing an incredible job of preparing their voices and their souls to lead our community in prayer. It's going to be spectacular, and we really can't wait to hear them and join them in song and prayer.
And just want to give a special shout out to Becca and to Michael and to Laura and to everyone who's been working incredibly hard to put that together, and Ari, everyone who's helping to put that together. Don't miss it. And last but not least, Kulanu, which will spotlight 4th grade, Saturday, April 24th at 10:30 a.m.
Can't wait to see you there.
And those are the ends of the things that I need to share called announcements.
Hoda'ot.
I love it. So we're going to wrap up our time, although we know camp is just on the horizon. So this was the pep rally for all of us, but we'll sing a little bit of Gesher to bring us into Shabbat, holding on to this beautiful camp energy, this Ruach, that spirit of camp and Shabbat.
This one's actually going to have a little mashup at the end. Kol ha'olam kulo gesher tzar me'od. Kol ha'olam hu gesher tzar me'od.
כל העולם כולו גשר צר מאוד, כל העולם הוא גשר והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, לא לפחד צר מאוד, כל העולם הוא גשר והעיקר לא לפחד כלל, לא לפחד
Time for a mashup. I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's home to me, and I walk alone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Indeed.
Just one last thing. Sign up for Jewish summer camp. If you
Yeah,
haven't
do
signed
it.
up,
Best choice you've made.
Go
Haven't made
sign
yet.
up. Go sign up.
The time is now.
The time is now. There's a few spots left.
Ze hayom.
Ze hayom.
Ze hayom. Shabbat shalom to
Shabbat
everyone.
shalom.
Enjoy Shabbat.
See you at camp.
Oh yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everyone who's with us from within New York City, a small group of us who are here in the sanctuary, and of course those who are here from all over the country and all over the world as we enter Shabbat with love and with anticipation of renewal, and the first Shabbat post-Pesach as we make our pilgrimage towards Shavuot this week, the week of Gvura, of the week of discipline, the week of might. So I invite us now to turn to Yedid Nefesh on page 10 in Lev Shalem, or page 252 in Sim Shalom.
ידיד נפש אב הרחמן משוך עבדך אל רצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו הים
מול הדרך יאר עבלו ידיד אותך נופן צור בכל מולדה לראות בתפארת עוזך עיני מחמת ליבי חוש שנה ואל תתעלה
turn to page 11 or page 254, L'chuna Ranana.
Kalmafana betoda Bizmirot nariado Lechunera nenadona Naria etzu yishen Kalmafana betoda Bizmirot nariado כי אל גדול אדוני ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ ותועפות עלילות לכוננה לאדוני נהריה לצור ישן מקלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו לכוננה לאדוני נהריה לצור ישן Kalmafana betoda Bizmirot nariano אשר לא חיים והוא עשהו ויבשת ידיו יצרו בואו נשתחווה ונכרע נבכה לפני אדוני ונרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו ונרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו לרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו תקשו לבבכם כמריבות כיום מסע במדבר אשר ניסוני אבותיכם חנוני גם ראו פאולי לכו נרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו לכו נרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו 40 שנה קוטנות ואמר עם תוי לבבים והם לא ידעו דרכי אשר נשבעתי בימים יבואו אל מנוחתי לכו נרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו לכו נרנן אדוני נהריה לצור ישן וכלמפנה בתודה מזמירות נהריה לו.
Page 13 or page 254.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש שירו לאדוני כל הארץ שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו בשרו מיום ליום ישועתו
ספרו בגויים כבודם בכל העמים נפלאו
משפחות עמים אבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז אבו לאדוני כבוד שמו שאו מנחה ובואו לחצרותיו
השתחוו לאדוני בידות קודש חילו מפניו כל הארץ הלכו בגויים אדוני מלך עתיקון תהל בדימו יין עמי ברשעים ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ ירמה יעמו מלאו יענוס ידיים בכל אשר בו אז יזרענו כל הצעירה
לפני אדוני קיווה לשפוט הארץ שפוט תבל בצאת ועמים באמונתו דינינה 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 צדק ומשפט לכל כיסו יש לפניו תלם ולביסו העירו מרקב תבל ונתת אכילה הרים כבנו ועזו ופענו למביאנו כל הארץ יגלה שם צדקו כל כיבודו
ימשו חובב תפס המתאים
ישתחו לכל אלוהים
שמה ותשמח ציון ותגרנה בנות יהודה למען משפטך אדוני
כי את אדוני על כל הארץ ביד נעלית על כל אלוהים
אוהבי אדוני סינורה שומר נפשות חסידיו יד רשעים יצגר אור זרוע על הצדיק ולשרי לב שמחה שמחות צדיקות באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו
Begin 17 or page 250 את שיר לאדוני, שיר חדש, כי נבלעת זהו שלנו. הודיענו על ישועתו לעינינו,
זכר חזור אמונתו לבית ישראל וכל אבזם צאצאיו תלויים עולנו כל הארץ
בצפורנו וזמרו
ירם הים ומלאותו וביושבי בנהרות ימחה וכף יחד אבים יהננו
לפני אדוני
ורמו על כל העמים יודו שמך אדוני ראשון ועוז מלך משפטי ודע כוננת מישראל משמעת ומצעק ואהרון בכהניו ושמואל בקורא שמו קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענה אדוני אלוהינו, והשתחו להר קודשו, כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise if you're able. Mizmor the David, page 21 or page 260.
מזמור לדוד. כבוד ועוז יכול איילות ויחסו
Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. The first time I witnessed Birkat Kohanim, the priestly blessing, was on Yom Kippur, and I was mesmerized. The Kohanim, the priests of the community, left the sanctuary a little bit early to prepare, and then reappeared on the bima, talitot overhead, hands extended. And then they recited their own blessing for being sanctified with the holiness of Aaron, and then being commanded to recite the blessing, Birkat Kohanim. Did you grow up with Birkat Kohanim?
Yes. It was a very mysterious and stunning experience to see the men under the talitot and the swinging.
Yeah. Deborah, did you?
It was powerful.
Yeah. I encountered it for the first time in my teens.
Yeah, yeah. So my first encounter was as a young adult, at least that I can remember. And it was really mesmerizing and mysterious. And actually, in this week's parasha, there is a feeling that at the convocation of the Mishkan, as the sanctuary is finally being put into use, there's a pasuk that says, "Vayisa Aaron et yado," or yadav, el ha'am vayivarchem. Aaron lifted his hands toward the people and blessed them. And though the Torah doesn't give the words that Aaron blessed the people with, Rashi, the famous medieval commentator, teaches that is exactly the words of the priestly blessing. And so the powerful moment that's been acted out for thousands of years is sourced in this week's parasha, and we're in many ways trying to channel that very moment that we'll read about tomorrow, that so many of us have experienced, whether all our lives or in some moment, that moment of mystery and power and awe. In many ways, the act of doing the priestly blessing, and the priests, the Kohanim, say this in the blessing itself, is that they're channeling the Kedusha, the holiness of Aaron, carrying the echo of what Aaron did in this week's parasha all those years ago, performing their sacred service. So we, in giving that blessing, and we'll give that blessing later this evening to all of us and our children, we try to, in many ways, go back to that original notion that there's a power of a moment of blessing that gets passed on, the same words, the same experience, trying to capture the enormity and the mystery and the power of that moment for the very first time that was captured in this week's parasha, where Aharon uttered and channeled God's blessing, according to Rashi. But Rashi's opinion isn't actually the only one, and as we know with our commentators, when there's an ambiguity in the text, there's multiple responses. So Rashi says it's the traditional words of the priestly blessing, which actually don't appear in the Torah until Parashat Naso, many parshiot later in the book of Bamidbar. But not all commentators agree with Rashi. Ramban teaches that is actually unknown what Aaron's blessing was, and it was his spontaneous blessing, his own words, a secret blessing that we'll never know, not a formula reenacted over time, but true words to that very moment in time, flowing forth from him, not a liturgical formula written down. He was the source of that secret blessing and his words that got uttered that very day, one that will remain a mystery forever. The Slonimer is less interested in what Aaron said, but why. What prompted the blessing? Because it doesn't say, and then Aaron was told to bless, which is the way most things happen in this moment in the parasha. He actually just raises his hands and bless. And in the Torah itself, actually, the order is kind of funky. He doesn't even complete the offering, the sacrifices. The Slonimer's reason is actually that Aharon experienced the love and the awe of the people flowing through him. And instead of thinking, oh my God, I'm this incredible Kohen, I'm this incredible high priest, he thinks all of this energy that I'm feeling is generated by the people around me who have so much passion and love for God and this moment of time of using the sanctuary finally, that the love for the people and what they had for this moment actually burned through him, which actually prompts him to bless. It's not a moment of commandment, but a moment of experience that awakens him. And it says that actually that is the essence of the priestly blessing, according to the Slonimer, is love. That because Aaron felt that love and experience of love of the people, he then had the power to create this blessing because he saw this, he had this love for the people that he was able to give blessing. And in turn, the people received the blessing in love. And therefore, the Slonemer states that blessing is a channeling of love. And when one sees love and one feels love, one has the power to channel blessing. So what catalyzes the blessing in this moment that comes seemingly out of nowhere in the Torah is the people's love, their collective love and passion for God in the moment. And the power of the community impacts Aaron, and it inspires and overwhelms and awakens blessing in him, a blessing that he in some way returns to them in love. They generate the desire for blessing, and he is filled with love for them, and blessing flows. We've been saying a lot in this sanctuary at the end of services on Friday night when we say the priestly blessing, or at the end of services on Shabbat morning when we say it again, that we are all in need of blessing. And we are. It's been a really, really hard and challenging year. Some of us have experienced so much loss and isolation, and there's such a need for blessing. And not all are grand moments in time, like this moment in this week's parasha when Aaron stands to offer the sacrifices and lift his hands up and is inspired or told or recites the words of blessing. We don't live in grand moments all the time. But what I think these different commentaries teach us is really about the nature of blessing itself. Is that one way to generate blessing is to carry forth and rely upon the sacred words of our ancestors, the holiness of what Aaron uttered all those years ago, to channel the past and its holiness and its mystery and its awe, and offer that up as a formula, a reenactment toward a future of blessing. And another way we bless is actually just like Aaron in that moment is being struck, of having a private moment where we speak to ourselves or we speak to God, and just recognize that each of us, just like Aaron in that moment, has words of blessing. We don't have to read them always from a page, or they don't have to be authorized. They're only blessings that are authentic are not those words uttered from so long ago or that live in the Siddur, but the words that are privately ours, that we'll never know what Aaron spoke on that day, according to Ramban. But we too have words of blessing that live within us, that are our own to create from our heart. And finally, that we together as a community, even though we haven't been gathered together formally like the people were at that moment in time with this beginning of the sanctuary's use as the sacrificial cult, but we together as a community, according to the Slonemer, have the power to catalyze blessing. That blessing isn't only generated from rabbis or God or chachamim, talmidim, the rabbis of old, but that we as a community have the power to move things, to awaken blessings, to in some way be generated. Everyone, it's true, needs a blessing, but according to these commentators, it's not only everyone that needs a blessing, but it is true also that everyone can generate a blessing. And so I bless us on this Shabbat with not only waiting to receive, but being a catalyzer, a generating of blessing, which we not only just generously, desperately need, but we also generously can give. L'Chadodi, page 23 in Lev Shalem, or page 262 in Sim Shalom.
לשם ולתפארת בלי תהילה. דידי נאי 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 דידי נאי 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 לך אדוני לקראת קלה. דידי נאי 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 הנאי נאי 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 ניני נאי 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 על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי קורבה אלנה ושיגעלה ניני נאי 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 ניני נאי 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 היי נה 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 אדוני לקראת קלה ניני נאי 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 ניני נאי נאי אוי פרן שבת נקבלה לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה וחגודי לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה ויונים שיסה שורוסי ורחקו כל בבעלי יסיס עלי אלוהי כמסוס חרק על קלה וחנוני לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה וחנוני לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה חדודי לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה לחדודי לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה אוי היי נה 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 היי נה נה וחדודי לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה וחדודי לקראת קלה ובני שבת נקבלה אוי ושלום העטרת פעם קם בשמחה ובצהלה תוכר ובני עם סגונה בואי חלל שבת המלכה לך דודי לקראת קלה בערב שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בערב שבת נקבלה
Turn now to Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, page 27 or page 266. Mizmor Shir L'Yom HaShabbat, Tov Lehodot L'Adonai.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת ולזמר לשמך עליון
להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות
לעשור עלי נעל עלי היגיון ותקינות שמחת לאדוני פרעה למרשם מגנו עשיך נענו לקומה שמוצאך נדבר לא יצא פרוע ושעים כמו עשב יציצו כל תורה למשם כי הנה יויך אדוני כי הנה יויך אדוני פרנו כל פועלי המתל כלום צדיק אתה מעריפה כנס בלבנון צדיק אתה מעריפה כרס בלבנון נזכה
שתולים בבית אדוני בחצות אלוהינו יפריחו
נון בשיבה לשנברא עננים
להגיד כי השעיה צורים לעתתו אדוני מלאכי
ושמי עושים תזרחתי כל תרם תימות נכון תסחם יזמן המסתם זמן כל נמצא כל
מקולות מים רבים אדירים אשבריהם
דיר במרום אדוני עדותיך נאמנו מאוד
לביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים
לביתך נאווה קודש אדוני לאורך ימים. Continue with ברכו. Those who are able to rise, please do so now. Page 39a or 279 in Sim Shalom.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר בדברו מעביר יום ומביא לילה מבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבי אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך
כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם נגע יומם בלילה ואהבתך תסיר מבנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בנפשך ובכל מעשיך ויהיו דברים אחרים בצבא יום הלב ובשלום תבלי ונבדרת בם ושתזכו למקומך.
עם שמוע תשמעו.
תזכרו
Adonai Lechem Emet.
We continue on page 44 or page 290 in Sim Shalom. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם ושמיה ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ובשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם מי כמוך בימים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות עושה פלא נורא תהילות עושה פלא מלכותך באו בניך וכהיה לפני משה ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ארוחת אדוני גאל ישראל. page 45 השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום. תקנינו בצד טובה מלפנינו השם למען שמן העובדים בעד.
ושמור צאתנו ומוהינו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורץ סוכת שלום ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים ושרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ובית בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אישת ימים
עשה עליי את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השני שבת ונפש.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ביום תברכיותי וימליך מלכותי
בחייכון יום אלכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יש מרבה מברך לעולם ולראיה יתברך
וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקודשה לילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ולחמתה נעלה בעלמה. We spend a few moments of quiet prayer. If you can face Yerushalayim, I invite you to do so. The Amidah is on page 47 or page 296. Nina na 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 di da 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 di da 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 di di na 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 di da da di da da di you with Vayechulu, page 53 or page 314.
ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם וחלוי ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, קונה שמיים בארץ.
מגן אבות מדברו וחיי מתים במאמרו האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו
המניח לאמור ביום שבת קודשו כי בם רצה להניח להם
לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד
נאון הברכות אל הודעות אדון השלום מקדש השבת ומברך שביעים
המניח ביטושה לעמד ושני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית
אלוהינו אלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו רצה במנוחתנו קדשנו מצוותיך ותן חלקנו בתורתך זבנו מטובך ושמח נפשנו בישועתך ותאר ליבנו לעובדך באמת והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה רצון שבת קודשך ינוחו ויישא מקדש שמך ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת
אמן. קדיש שלם, page 316 or page 54.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבו בהמתי וחיותי והמלך מלכותי וחייכון ובמכון וחייתכו בית ישראל בגלה ויצמן קרי ואימרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבם מברך לעולם עליי פרח וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו אלא ממקור ברכתה שירתה שבחתה ונחמתה דמיירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן.
תקבל צדקתו לכו יזרע קדם עבור משמי ואמרו
אמן. יהי שלמה רבו מן שמי וחיים עלינו וכל ישראל ואמרו
אמן.
עושה שלום אמרו עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו
אמן. Turn to Kiddush on page 55 or page 318. Tomorrow morning, Noah Klein will be called up to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. He now approaches the table to lead us in Kiddush. Once again, page 55 or 318.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Borei peri hagafem.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu aharta ve'otani kidashta mikol ami v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava ufratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. L'chaim, you can drink.
Drink, Noah, drink. Juice.
L'chaim, mazal tov.
Mazal tov.
Looking forward to hearing you tomorrow and to calling you up to the Torah and to hearing your Dvar Torah. We now turn to Hamalach HaGoel, which will introduce the beautiful Birkat Kohanim. As Felicia said, we can all give and receive in love. Hamalach HaGoel אותי, Hamalach HaGoel אותי מכל רע, יברך את הנערים, יקרב בהם שמי. שם אבותיי, שם אבותיי, אברהם ויצחק, ויתקו לרוב, ויתקו לרוב, בקרב הארץ. ישמחה אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה, ישימך אלוהים כשרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאיר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. אמן. עלינו page 56 or 320. עלינו לשבח אדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה,
שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגואלנו כהמונם. ואנו גויים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא,
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד על עצמו שווה קרוב השמיים ושכנת וזובר. שבותי לברך כי אדוני הוא אלוהים השמיים ממעל תחתנו עוד, על כן
קבלך אדוני אלוהינו ליתר ותרדותך,
להבנות אליך קודש ארץ הכירו ידע כל זה ותמלוך על עמלי המועד כמלכות שלך היא.
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר
והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Continue with Mourner's Kaddish on page 58. Those who are in mourning and those who mark your side are invited to rise. If you're on Zoom, please unmute now. Page 58 or 324 in Sim Shalom. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. בעלמא דברה כרותה וימליך מלכותה. חייכון וביומכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה, שירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. Amen. I'd like to begin by expressing our sorrow on the death of our longtime member, Earl Cases. We extend our sincere condolences to all his loved ones, to Deborah Cases and Gideon Taylor, their children, Hannah and Katie Cases Taylor, to Karen Cases and Bradley Phillips and their children, Jordan and Samantha Phillips, and to Joel Cases and Sarah Nathan and their family. And Earl was a pillar in this community, in the rebirth and the renewal, the resurgence of this community, a true pillar. He was a board member, and the most, I think, important is that he was one of the co-chairs of the building committee of BJ when this beautiful sanctuary was refurbished after the collapse of the ceiling. And he spent many, many hours and shared his work and his wisdom and resources to make this happen. We are and will be always grateful to Earl and to his wife, Judy, who departed this world a few years earlier, but to whom we owe a great debt of gratitude. We also offer condolences to Ayala Wasser and her entire family on the death of her grandmother, Ray Wasser. We say Mazal Tov to Noah Klein and his family and all their loved ones, and invite everyone to come back tomorrow. A few will be here in presence, many will be on Zoom or live stream, and we'll have the opportunity to participate and experience the moment when Noah will be called up to the Torah. Our morning begins with Hachana Tefillah, with preparation for prayer, with piyutim, with liturgical songs and reflections at 9. At 9:30, the Shabbat morning service begins. And at the end of Shabbat, we meet again on Zoom for Arvit and Havdalah at 8:25. On Sunday, after morning minyan, which always begins on Sunday at 9:30, we have the monthly Torah from Israel, the opportunity to learn with rabbis and scholars from Israel. And this Sunday at 10:30, we have the really extraordinary opportunity to learn with one of Israel's greatest scholars of Jewish mysticism, Dr. Melila Hellner Eshet, who has been for many years a friend of BJ. She has taught here on many occasions. And she will give a special lesson entitled To Be Bound in the Bundle of Life, Collective Memory on Yom HaShoah and Yom HaAtzmaut. Yom HaShoah, which we just commemorated this week, and Yom HaAtzmaut, which we will be celebrating next Wednesday night and Thursday. And so Melila will bridge these two very important major markers of 20th century Judaism and forever engraved in our memory and in our heart, Yom HaShoah and Yom HaAtzmaut. Melila is a research fellow at the Shalom Hartman Institute. She's been a professor of Jewish mysticism and Zohar in the Department of Jewish Studies at Hebrew University in Jerusalem for over 2 decades, and it's really an extraordinary opportunity. We hope that many of you will join Sunday at 10:30. On Tuesday evening, Rosh Chodesh Iyar, at 7:30, we have an opportunity to study about the connection between Jews, race, and U.S. history. 1619, 1654, when, of course, 1619, when the first slaves arrived in chains in this country. 1654, when the first Jews arrived here. 2021. And so that will be together with Marlene Myers and JCC of Manhattan. It will be a candid, probably difficult exploration and journey through American Jewish history. On Wednesday, at 6:30, we begin, at 6:30 p.m., we begin the observance of Yom HaZikaron, which actually starts on Tuesday evening and continues through the day on Wednesday, but we will mark it on Wednesday evening and transition from Yom HaZikaron to Yom HaAtzmaut. We will have a candle lighting ceremony, we will have poetry, video tributes, and a musical presentation with our music director, Dan Nadel, and the singer, Maya Lachiani. And they have prepared a beautiful, beautiful program of Israeli songs for Wednesday evening. 6:30 we'll begin with Mincha and then continue with the celebration of Yom HaAtzmaut. It's called Songs of Sweetness and Sorrow. And you're all invited. Maya Lachiani, is the first Israeli to perform at the Metropolitan Opera. So you do not want to miss that. And our member, actor Ron Gottman, will be narrating this presentation, Songs of Sweetness and Sorrow. And with that, the last thing we want to announce is that beginning on Shabbat, April 23rd and 24th, in 2 weekends, We will be pleased to welcome members to join us, more members. It's been a very, very small number of people here, Torah readers and a few mourners who have been here, occasionally somebody accompanying the bar or bat mitzvah. But on the 23rd and the 24th, we will open to a greater number of members, perhaps about 40 to 50 members with social distancing, separated in pods with masks in the balcony. And we'll be pleased to have a rotation through Friday night and Shabbat morning services so that everybody who wants to be here can have a chance to participate over a number of weeks. There will be a link and instructions to register for one of these Shabbat services between April 23rd and June 26th. We are experimenting with reopening with great caution and care. And so we hope that many of you will rejoice, and hopefully we will see you here and welcome you. On a rotating basis, it will be first come, first served, and then once everybody who's wanted to participate will have a chance, then we'll start having seconds.
Look for an email on Sunday with the information.
Sunday, right. Sunday people will be at 1 minute after midnight on their on the BJ website to try to find the first opportunity. It's not going to be like the appointments for the vaccines.
No. It should be easier.
It should be easier.
And if not, we'll get a committee together to organize it.
Yeah. We are going to conclude this evening with Shalom Aleichem, page 73 in Lev Shalem, page 722 in Sim Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yesharet, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Rachamim, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yesharet, Malachei Elyon, Malachei Rachamim, Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי העליון, מלאכי רחמים, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. בואכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי העליון, מלאכי רחמים, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי העליון, מלאכי רחמים, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי העליון, מלאכי רחמים, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. צאתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי העליון, מלאכי רחמים, מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמיו בשלום, אמן. שבת שלום.
שבת שלום.